over the long term, it tends to lead to rebellion, it tends to lead to burnout, and it tends to lead to people just not enjoying the game and not enjoying the experience and quitting. I think it's a mistaken approach to use threats to improve performance. Do they work? I'll tell you, hands down, they can work. They can work. In fact, I can guarantee if I put a gun to anyone's head in this room, I could probably get you to do all sorts of things that you might not normally do. In fact, it could get probably each one of you with a gun in front of you, you'd do sprints like you've never done sprints before. So yes, it can have an effect. The question is, what strategies are you willing to utilize to get the response that you desire? And will that be beneficial for an athlete over the long term? And the fact of the matter is all the studies show no. It can get instant or immediate results, but over the long term, you're going to have to continue to increase the threats to get the same level of reward or performance that you want. There's a difference between a challenge and a threat. So if you have a challenge for your players and you say, all right, guys, we're going to do this suicide, and if everyone can get it in less than 30 seconds, we'll be done practice. But if somebody doesn't get it, the whole team is going to run again. So the challenge is on. So there's a difference between that framing, and what's the difference between a threat and a challenge? I think often it's your framing of it, and it's the tone. So if you frame it as a challenge, a competition, or a game, if you frame it as a challenge, a competition, or a game, it's going to be received as a challenge. But if you frame it and you have the tone that has a fear-based implication. See, I can say this is a challenge. We're going to have 2 teams play, and the losing team is going to drop for 20 push-ups. You're not trying to institute a threat that's going to result in a punishment. You're elevating performance through a challenge. So you're attempting, you're calling on them to be at their best in a challenge, in a competitive environment. That's an entirely different thing than if you do that one more time, I see that type of effort one more time, you're all getting on the line and you're going to run the rest of practice. Can you see that subtle difference in tone and what you're conveying? Big difference between a challenge and a threat.